Well, while the top three in the Premier League were all winning yesterday, the Scott Sports spotlight fell on the First Division promotion race, where third-placed Hamilton met leaders Dundee. Defeat last week at Ayr had put a question mark over Hamilton's ability to stay the course, while Dundee have enjoyed the view from the top of the table for much of the season. The commentator at Douglas Park is Jerry McNee.
There's Hamilton manager Billy McLaren's line-up, and they know just how crucial this match is after losing 2-0 to Ayr United last weekend. They feel they should have fared better in 2 league defeats by Dundee this season, and they're out today to narrow the 4-point gap on the leaders. One player who's attracting a lot of attention these days is Hamilton defender James Weir, who was the subject of a recent inquiry by Dundee, and who is also being watched by several clubs in the south, including Millwall. The 22-year-old's career prospects look very bright. And a man who's been at the top and just about seen it all is the former Celtic, Leeds United and Hibernian striker George McCluskey, who enjoyed trophy-winning days at Parkhead and who, at the age of 34, still very much enjoys his football. There's the Dundee side, which must be greatly cheered by that excellent 5-0 win over Stirling Albion last week, after jarring defeats by Falkirk in the Scottish Cup and Partick Thistle in the league. And a man who can help Dundee over the next few important weeks towards promotion is a recently signed former Scotland international goalkeeper Jim Leighton, who won 58 full caps and at the age of 33 has not given up hope of forcing his way back into the international scene. The burden of playing and managing has fallen on the broad shoulders of Simon Stainrod, who says he's relishing the challenge of caretaker boss. The stakes are high for him because promotion will surely land him the job on a full-time basis. To quote Tommy Doherty, Simon's had more clubs than Jack Nicklaus, Dundee being his 10th port of call in a highly interesting career. The referee is Bill Crombie from Edinburgh, who gets the match underway. And Dundee kicking up the slope here at Douglas Park. Well, certainly two teams of contrasting styles. Hamilton like to get the ball forward early. Dundee have a more measured approach. They play a passing game. But, the conditions will dictate quite a lot. Been quite fortunate here in the west of Scotland today. The weather has been bad recently, but the pitch seems to have dried out quite a bit. And the high winds that were forecast, well, they're not with us yet. So Simon Stainrod there, marshalling his forces. Good ball there to Billy Dodds. Well, it's missed there by Hillcoat, and eventually it's Miller getting it back to the goalkeeper. There was a good play down the left there by Dundee, involving Beattie and Dodds. But a complete miskick there by Hillcoat. It looked like an arm possibly used there by Stainrod, but the referee allowing play to go on. It's picked up now by George McCluskey. He's dispossessed by McCall. One ball played through for Dodds. There's no flag here. Well, the defence hesitating for a chance for Dodds. And it's 1-0 to Dundee. So 12 minutes gone. And Billy Dodds gets his 15th league goal of the season. Well, the defence just stopped in its tracks here. The player was certainly onside. He kept a very cool head before hitting the low shot past Mike Monaghan. So Hamilton 0, Dundee 1. And Billy Reid losing out. It's Beattie trying to force the play forward. Running into a bit of trouble though. Colin Miller playing it through. There's Weir with the shot. Well, that one wasn't far away. Weir, a player who likes to break forward. Well, he's already scored 2 goals this season. And as the ball come off the head of Alan Dinney and broke into his path, with the first time shot just wide of Leighton's left-hand post. So Billy Dodds for Dundee, with McQuillan running in support. Still Dodds though. Headed away by Hillcoat. Kenny Ward. Field there to Millen. Dundee have it again now. Billy Dodds. McQuillan looking for some support. It's McCall leaving it to Dodds. Stainrod running into trouble. Keeps possession. Oh, nice skills by Stainrod. Well, certainly turning on a bit of style there. He looked to be under real pressure from James Weir, but he shrugged off the challenge. Picked up by Dodds, who's quickly closed down. Smith laying it off to Hillcoat. Now it's Ward. And well taken by Jim Leighton as he was challenged by Paul MacDonald. So Hamilton getting in a good cross. Kenny Ward there, the player they signed recently from St Johnstone for £40,000. Testing cross for Leighton, just in ahead of MacDonald. For a throw in to Hamilton. Rockies will want to get something back before half-time. And of course they will be playing up the slope in the second half. So at the moment things not looking particularly good for them. And the ball breaks well though here. And it goes just behind from George McCluskey. Well, persistent play there from Paul MacDonald. The ball dropping in behind McQuillan. And MacDonald did well. Leighton committed himself, and McCluskey stabbed the ball just past the post. It's Chisholm playing it forward. Picked up by Weir. Colin Miller. Oh well. The captain certainly shouldn't do that, giving the ball away to Billy Dodds. And the ball goes behind for the corner. Well, Colin Miller will not be happy there. And Billy Dodds again showing he's always ready to take advantage of any slip. And forward goes Stuart Forsyth. It is height and weight to the attack. It's McCall with the corner. Stainrod's in there in front of the goalkeeper. Beattie! Well, that's a tremendous effort there from Stuart Beattie. Stainrod had climbed high with the goalkeeper, the ball breaking out to Beattie. And what a tremendous shot there. Crashing off the top of the crossbar. Well, the break's on here for Hamilton. MacDonald's racing down the left here. It's well read by McQuillan, who wins the free kick. A good bust forward there by Paul MacDonald, but conceding the free kick. And there goes the half-time whistle. So a disappointing first half for Hamilton, and there's the reason why Billy Dodds, after 12 minutes, breaking clear of a very square-looking defence, keeping a cool head and hitting a low shot past Mike Monaghan. The half-time score here at Douglas Park: Hamilton 0, Dundee 1. So it's Hamilton who get the second half underway, picking up the slope. This is the fourth league meeting between the sides this season. Dundee winning 4-1 at Dens Park back in August, then winning 3-1 here in November, but then Accies going up to Dens Park and winning 2-1 on December the 28th. So no changes in either side. Again, the sun breaks through. We've had the 4 seasons out here today. There's the goal scorer for Dundee, Billy Dodds. Well, headed on by Bede. Mackenzie's in there for Accies, switching it to McDonald. Through to Reid. Donald again, better play this by Hamilton, but the ball breaking away from Trevor Smith there. Cullen trying to play it through. It's cut out though by Weir. Played wide now to Kenny Ward. Mackenzie. Again. James Weir moving forward. Ward. McDonald getting the touch. And that was Billy Reid with the first-time effort, and well saved by Jim Leighton. Well, the Accies man really unlucky there. Better play from Hamilton, the first-time shot by Billy Reid. And good save there by Leighton. He hasn't got a lot to do this afternoon. Ward. Stainrod for Dundee to Dodds. Wilcock with him all the way. Dodds gets support from Stainrod. First time ball through to McCall. He does well to retain possession, surrounded by Hamilton players. Getting away from Weir, and it's headed away by Mackenzie. Well, the referee waving play on. Could easily have awarded a penalty, but he decided to play the advantage. Well, easily have been a penalty kick there. So McCall with the corner. Carried away by Smith. Miller for Hamilton, and the interception made there by Alan Dinney. McDonald providing the cross, headed on, the chance there for Billy Reid. Well, McDonald did well initially to get in the cross. It was headed on there by Trevor Smith, and there was Billy Reid with the effort going over the bar. Ward has it, and he wins the free kick. Well, perhaps a chance here for Hamilton to do something. Kenny Ward forcing the play forward. Jim Leighton organising things. Well, almost 2 years now since Jim Leighton appeared in the Scotland jersey. That last appearance against Brazil in Turin. Here he is this afternoon, defending the Dundee goal at Hamilton. George McCluskey over the ball there. Paul McDonald also hovering. And McCluskey's always had a great touch, but it's McDonald. Oh, it's a marvellous goal by Paul McDonald. 58 minutes, and Paul McDonald with a tremendous free kick. And look at the delight in the faces of the Hamilton players. He takes the salute of the crowd. Well, no one has worked harder for that goal this afternoon. And Paul McDonald. Jim Leighton was scrambling across his line, had absolutely no chance with it whatsoever. It really was a superb strike there with the left foot. Look at Leighton at full stretch. So he brings Hamilton back into this match and back into the championship race. And Simon Steinrod being called over by the referee for that challenge on Billy Reid. So the yellow card shown to Simon Steinrod. So the free kick taken by Andy Nolan. That's a goal that should really fire up the home side now. Well, there's an excellent shot by Kenny Ward. Well, the confidence obviously surging through the team now. Since that goal, the free kick was played forward, chested down there by McCluskey in the first time shot. Well taken by Jim Leighton. So McCullen through looking for Dodds. Andy Nolan with him, and Dodds winning the corner for Dundee. Dodds taking a little bit of a knock there. It's McCall to take it into the near post, headed clear by Colin Miller. Picked up now by Gary Clark, Hamilton substitute. There's McDonald playing it forward. Trevor Smith being pursued by Beattie. Support there from Kenny Ward. Ward onto the left foot, getting in the cross. Smith, and an excellent save by Jim Leighton. Well, Trevor Smith, former Kilmarnock player, signed at the start of the season, getting in an excellent shot there. And Jim Leighton reacting well. It wasn't an easy one at all for the goalkeeper, going through the legs of the defender. On by Albert Craig. Steinrod was in there too, but Hamilton have it through Colin Miller. That's Paul McDonald. Gary Clark. Good ball through there. Better play this by Hamilton. Another excellent save from Jim Leighton. Colin Miller getting well forward. And Leighton screaming at his defenders. Good play by Miller, and Leighton point blank range. So just seconds remaining, plus any injury time to be added on. Dodds for Dundee. McCall. Yep, Craig shot blocked. With Steinrod. Well, the goalkeeper had to knock it behind there, so Dundee have the corner. Steinrod floating it in, and Moran watching it carefully. Steinrod's corner. And there goes the final whistle. So Dundee will not be happy, not unhappy I should say, with a point, because Hamilton had a far better second half. There's the man who scored that magnificent equaliser, Paul McDonald, after 58 minutes. A tremendous strike with his left foot. Jim Leighton diving away to his left, but couldn't prevent the goal. The final score here, Hamilton 1, Dundee 1.
Billy, I think it's fair to say that between the pitch and the wind here today, it was very difficult for both sets of players.
I think it was, Jerry. I think the circumstances we served up not too bad a game for you.
Now, the equalising goal from Paul McDonald was something quite special, wasn't it?
It was. It's the type of thing that if a Brazilian had scored, that we'd be going overboard about it. He's well capable of that, Paul, and you know, fortunately for us today that it went in the back of the net.
What about the promotion stakes now? It's a result that obviously suits Dundee more than it suits you.
I think so. I mean, I think at the end of the day, we're a wee bit disappointed in the result in light of the performance, because we maybe felt that we were due the 2 points overall. But it keeps us on a roll, and you know, we like to think that we'll be there towards the end of the season.
It was certainly a better second half for you than first half.
Yeah, obviously the conditions with the wind and what have you, it's difficult to put together a passing game, which I think both sides prefer. So you need to adapt to the conditions a wee bit, and unfortunately sometimes it means we don't give a good game to the punters.
Simon, I'd say you won't be unhappy with a draw here in these conditions today.
No, I think when you look at the pitch, you look at the wind conditions, I mean, you could have negotiated a draw before the game and that would have been probably fairer.
But you did have your chances in the first half to tie it up.
Yeah, we did, but if you look at the second half, they had a few chances as well, so perhaps over the play it was a fair result.
Gordon, again, a day dictated by the elements. People call for a winter shutdown in January, but the worst weather's been in recent weeks.
Yeah, well, I certainly am. I'm all for summer football because without question, with good playing surfaces, you get a better quality of football. You can knock the ball around. I mean, Hamilton yesterday, as Billy Stark said, I thought they did serve up some decent football considering the conditions, but it really was a glue pot, and you just can't knock the ball around in surfaces like that. That's why I'm all for summer football. When the pitches are nice, flat, plenty of grass, and they grow as well.
Now, we featured James Weir in Scott Sport Extra Time on Friday night, a few clubs showing interest in him. He's pacey and he likes to get forward in support of the attack.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. There's a few clubs showing interest in him. As you say, he got forward on every occasion yesterday, and it really reminded me a bit of Alan Hansen. Very comfortable in the ball, a lot of composure, as we said, likes to get forward, join in the attack, and reasonable. He played at the centre of defence yesterday, reasonable in there as well, quick and pretty tenacious, and I think Hamilton might have one or two problems if they don't get up holding on to the likes of James Weir.
Now, despite the heavy pitch, Paul MacDonald was great entertainment, and again, I thought Hamilton's best player throughout the afternoon.
Yeah, well, he was certainly their most dangerous player. I'd like to have seen him get a little bit more of the ball than what he did yesterday. He's a good player here, beats one full-back McQuillan, and a lovely nutmeg on Alan Dundee there, and maybe a little bit fortunate that they never got a goal out of that one. But he's got a really sweet left foot. I mean, Jim Leighton, I mean, he'd be expecting to get beat with goals like this in the continent, you know, not at Douglas Park, and it really was a superb free kick. And as Billy Stark says, it's a goal, you know, if I had been a continental player that had hit that one and would have been raving about it for long enough, it really was a really sweet strike. I mean, this is a long 40-yard diagonal pass, left-footed pass. As I said, he's got a really sweet left foot. And he's another one of Hamilton's talented youngsters. Young lad Chris Hillcoat at right back was another young lad that impressed me.
Jim Leighton will be desperate to get back into the Premier Division to try and resurrect his international career. He's only 33. Ronnie Simpson was 3 years older when he won his first Scotland cap.
Well, it doesn't seem to be a problem with goalkeepers age. Peter Shelton, Henry Smith, who's playing terrific this season. And I was delighted to see him come back yesterday, back into Scottish football and playing well again. And if he does play like what he did yesterday, there's no reason why he can't force himself back into the international setup. I mean, a few years ago we were raving about him as the best Scottish goalkeeper that had ever been. You know, he won a tremendous amount of caps, but just unfortunately for Jim, you know, he went down to England and for one reason and another things never really worked out for him at Old Trafford. But I think he'd be one of the reasons that I now fancy Dundee, although it'll be tight, maybe to just clinch that spot and go up.
Dundee have good solid pros like Stuart Beattie. His work rate was just one aspect of his play, but he's got the type of experience needed to go into the Premier Division. Yeah,
I think if Dundee go up, and as I say, it's going to be tight, you know, he can play in the Premier League. He's got the abilities, experienced player, been around for a little bit. And him, and Ian McCall as well, as we mentioned, the playing surfaces, they knocked the ball about not bad yesterday and produced a few moments of skill. I mean, that's a terrific right foot shot that whacks the crossbar, but a brave shot as well because the defenders were closing them down very tight here. And of course, like all modern midfield players, you've got to do your fair share of defending as well. And that was a terrific interception to stop Hamilton getting a certain goal.
And next weekend will be significant because Thistle are at home to Hamilton and Dundee are at home to Raith Rovers.
Yeah, well, there doesn't seem to be any side in the First Division showing any great consistency. I mean, Partick Thistle probably the team that I think 7 or 8, 9, the last 9 games they haven't been beaten. But as I say, it's going to be so tight. I think there's still 5 teams in there. You've got Raith Rovers, Kilmarnock, Dundee, who I think will get up. You know, it's so close, and it's the same every year in the First Division.
Let me just pin you. Who's going to go up with Dundee then?
I think Partick Thistle.
Gordon, for the moment, thank you.